What's happening, y'all? It is the countdown to MoParty. As many of you know, Holly hosts uh, an awesome event every year called MoParty, and it takes place in Bowling Green, Kentucky, in September every year. This is, I believe, the third year, and there's a lot of hype around the event. There's also some controversy. I've got a couple friends that are hopefully going to be joining me tonight. One is my friend Matt. You know him as Big Block from at BigBlocksGarage. Matt, welcome aboard, buddy.
What's up, man?
Not a whole lot, man. Tommy should be joining us soon, and Tommy is representing Slicks of Hope, which is a charity to help fight childhood cancer, pediatric cancer.
Yeah.
Very good foundation. So if you haven't followed him, follow at slicks_of_hope on Instagram. And I think it's just at slicks of hope on Facebook. Definitely a worthy cause to get behind. You know, no child should have to fight cancer. That's a bummer. But
Absolutely.
thankfully, there's organizations out there like Slicks of Hope that are fighting the good fight and raising money to help, end this horrible thing. But MoParty's coming up, dude. And
I know, man. God, I'm so ready.
I am so ready. So what Matt and I are doing is we're both flying in, coincidentally, to New Orleans at 11:30 on Wednesday night, and we're going to be road tripping up with a bunch of Louisiana cats, including our friend Blake from Sublime Technologies. And we're gonna road trip it all the way up to Kentucky. It's a Bowling Green for MoParty, and we're gonna document the whole thing from the journey to New Orleans, the journey up to Bowling Green, the MoParty, and everything in between and afterwards. So
The whole
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
thing.
The whole kit and caboodle, dude. What are you looking forward to most at MoParty this year, Matt?
Man, I can't put my feet like in all seriousness, hanging out with you guys. I mean,
For sure.
that's the main reason I go. Like,
Right?
I
Seeing
mean,
your friends and just having
yeah,
a good time, dude.
dude, just having a good
Yeah,
time. Like, I mean, I know I'm there supposed to be getting a lot of media stuff,
sure.
but I mean, bro, I just have fun just sitting I have fun running around like the first like half of the first day is great, running around getting a bunch of content.
Yeah.
Like we usually get a bunch of stuff in the first half a day. Because we hit it really hard. Then after that, I'm down to just find somewhere to park it and just shoot the crap with somebody the rest of the day.
There's Hunter.
Hunter.
Hunter's in the house. Yeah, and man, I love the social aspect of events like this. Um, what's not to look forward to? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and I have been talking with Holly, and I'm supposed to be a judge again this year. I don't know if that's gonna I don't know what's going on. They haven't confirmed or anything like that. Tommy's in the house. Let's bring Tommy Marauder on. Tommy, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
Welcome back to the show. It's been a minute, huh?
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
All right, so confirmed for MoParty, huh?
Yes, for sure.
Right on.
We're actually working on getting everything staged tomorrow, and we're rolling out Wednesday evening.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
I need to spend a little bit more time at the track this year. I blew it last year. I was like, God, what? I didn't spend nearly as much time as I wanted to, and I got to catch your car run, so that was a lot of fun seeing the 1320 go down the track. I forgot where you ran, but it was pretty fast. You're doing pretty good for a 1320.
Man, I don't even remember where we were last year. Lower tens.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive.
So
and that was on gas, right?
A little bit.
Okay. All right, big changes for this year or what? I don't want you to give away your secrets.
Not really.
Okay.
It looks like the weather's going to be a little bit better.
Yeah.
It was, pretty hot, so been keeping things kind of quiet.
Nice.
But just a little tweaking going on. Haven't run a lot in the last year. I think I did Streetcar Takeover back in February.
Okay.
And then Modern Street Hemi Shootout in March.
Wow.
So just, new baby, all that stuff, and
Yeah.
just haven't had the time to get out.
Yeah. Congratulations on the new kiddo, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Tell-
This will be her first trip too. So
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Bro, we got a few friends bringing kiddos this year for the
I
first time.
know, right? People have been busy in the off season. It's been awesome seeing it. Tell the audience about Slicks of Hope, Tommy.
So Slicks of Hope is a charity that I run in memory of my now middle daughter, whom passed in September of 2017 at the age of 5. Her name was Peyton Hope. She battled cancer for half of her life, brain cancer. So I had started working with St. Baldrick's, which is the parent foundation, prior to her passing.
Mm-hmm.
So I did my first event with her in early 2017.
Okay.
So traditionally they're head shaving events with St. Baldrick's, hence the name.
Yeah.
So shaved my head that year. My oldest daughter and my middle daughter had actually done an event the year before. I was stuck working at the firehouse at the time.
Yeah.
So after I lost Peyton, it was just kind of the normal thing, I guess, to keep doing this.
Sure.
And then in 2018, they started changing their format and said, we're kind of doing these funds where parents can set up a charity under us, kind of do their own thing. You don't have to hold a head shaving event. We want to branch out.
Okay.
So we've been racing cars, man.
What a great way to raise money for kids, man. That's awesome.
We kicked off right as COVID was getting popular.
Yeah.
And we did a charity car show. So everything else in our area here in South Florida had shut down. There was no car shows that weekend.
Yeah.
We were the only one, and it did well.
That's awesome.
So and then with MoParty, Holly kind of took notice, and since the second year, they've invited us and comped us a space and everything to come and raise money for the charity.
That's awesome. So what can people do to help support Slicks of Hope?
So the way it works is, like I said, we set up a fund.
Okay.
Under St. Baldrick, so I get to do all the fun stuff. At the end of the day, all my travel, all that's out of my own pocket. I'm not that end of the charity.
Sure.
So Baldrick's gets all the write-offs, everything else. So I do this because I want to do it.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing is donations. And a lot of people are apprehensive with charities, and you really have to do your homework.
Absolutely.
So and that's one reason I've stuck with this charity, is because they're funding real deal, children's cancer research.
Yeah.
And a bare minimum of 75 cents of your dollar actually makes it to funding research.
That's good to hear. A lot of those charities. Yeah, that's a big number.
Yeah, they don't got a bunch of guys working up in there taking big paychecks. So it definitely makes a difference. And then as someone that is involved, we're notified every year as funds go out of, hey, these are the doctors we're funding at these hospitals and these trials, so you see and where it's going.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
that's fantastic.
Yeah, we can do donations, and a little short on t-shirts this year and stuff, so I'll have some things.
Yeah.
But donations, we can do cash, check, online. I'll have little QR codes they can scan and go right online. You can Google us. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah. Awesome.
So I keep up with all the current links. So that's really all somebody has to do is hit that link. And one thing I've heard over the years is we're not all rich, man.
Yeah.
And I hear people like, oh, well, I wish I could make a difference. I wish I could donate.
Yeah.
You could donate $1.
Yeah,
because
what's a buck these days? You know what I mean?
exactly. And
75 cents of that dollar goes right to the research and stuff. So that's a huge number. Yeah, man. If you got a buck, let's show some support in memory of Peyton. That's awesome. I love charities that actually mean something, and you know that the money's going to the right place. You know what I mean? You
Right.
hear so many stories. It's like, you don't know who to trust.
Right.
So that's awesome. MoParty, man, it's gonna be a blast, dude. I'm excited. However, I just wouldn't be me if I didn't bring up the fact that there's some controversy around this MoParty. It is ridiculous. Let me just say how I feel. And I never said anything because I didn't want to be that guy. But now that it's getting crazy, I've seen it tossed around publicly. And I'll say, I can't believe so many people are getting mad about a Crown Vic dressed as a Charger that's not going to be there. You know what I mean? Uh, is it cool to see a wannabe Charger jump 30 feet and get destroyed? Sure. That's pretty neat.
Sure is.
But a lot of people I think they're just making more of a big deal about this than it needs to be. How do you guys feel about this?
I'll let Tommy go first.
I was gonna let you go first.
Okay, I'll go first then. Man, I agree. I think some folks are blowing it way out of proportion by being like, I'm not going to go. I'm canceling. Cool. Holly already got your money. You're not hurting them by not going. What you're hurting is the vendors and the swap meet guys and the things like that. You're not taking a dig at Holly. They don't care. They've already got their money.
Sure.
And then by the time next year rolls around, you're not going to be mad anymore and you're going to go. So, like you said, it's a dressed up Crown Vic. I mean, is it cool to see the jump? Absolutely, it's cool to see the jump.
Sure.
But I mean, how many times do you need to see the same jump?
Yeah.
It's they do the exact same format, the exact same jump.
Sure.
Because they only have a certain amount of space they can do on that center course.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think the main reason folks are getting so mad, and I'm not going to say they're blowing out of proportion. They're being a little ridiculous, but I think everyone's just tired of stuff being canceled and stuff like that. You know what I mean? They're just tired of cancel culture.
Sure.
And they're swinging back at the newest example of cancel culture. And really they just need to chill out, take a breath, think about it for a second, and just go have fun and see some cool cars.
Absolutely, 100%. I don't even know the full story of why. I've heard, all sorts of different stories. To be honest, I don't care. I hope it's not because of the flag. Like, that to me would be ridiculous. I don't know. I think it's just one of those things where whatever the reason may be, I don't even think it's worth speaking of because they know they're going to throw a hell of an event. And if you're going just for the general lead jump, I mean, I guess, yeah, you could be upset. But I don't know. A lot of those people are now making a big deal about it, like they were going for just the jump anyway. I'm like, you weren't going for just the jump. Come on.
Yeah, why just the jump? Like I said, man, everybody just needs to take a breath, slow down, think about what you're saying. Yeah. So, I mean, I've heard so many different stories that we don't know what's accurate or not.
Sure.
Like I've heard, it's FM3 that did it. I've heard that canceled it. I've heard it was Holly.
Now that you just got our media passes revoked,
I didn't say anything bad about it. I'm saying that's just what I've heard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have no problems with Holly. Is it disappointing? Not for me personally. I thought it was cool. I've seen it twice now. It's cool. I don't need it to,
Again, how many times do you need to watch the same jump?
Yeah. Yeah. I spent enough time waiting for that thing to happen that I'd rather spend on the drag strip. You know what I mean? Yeah. Watching the cars run. So not that big of a loss for me. Tommy, what do you think about it?
Well, they closed the drag strip to do it.
Yeah.
It cuts into our racing time.
Sure.
So I've gone every year thus far. I've seen it every year as our booth has been right across from it. Mm-hmm. And, one of the first things I thought when I heard that and, saw everybody and their mother getting up in arms over it was every year there's a crowd. Yeah. But it's not like the grandstands were jam-packed.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's not like people were, I sat back at my booth and I could see it.
Yeah.
The fences weren't thick with people just wanting to see this. And I think it's as much as there's cancel culture, there's these vultures that hang out and wait for something just to have something to piss and moan about.
100%.
You know, I mean, like you said, it was cool to see. I've seen it 3 times.
Yeah.
I think I skipped it last year.
Yeah, give us something fresh, you know.
100%.
Get some more drag racing in there.
Yeah.
You know, do the thrill rides more.
Yeah.
You know, that we have people that want to do those. You know, I just think they could freshen the format and with as big of a Mopar thing, I guess, as the Dukes are, it's not like it's not even close to the core.
Yeah, no.
You know, I mean, I watched it as a kid and I liked it, and you know, but it goes as far as, you know, if Holly wants to cancel it or FM3 wants to cancel it because of a flag, you know what? That's within their rights.
Yeah, that is.
It's their
event. And exactly. And I always look at things as far as, you know, I've spent most of my adult life in the military, and, you know, I'm all about freedoms and rights, but my rights and freedoms end when they encroach on yours.
Yeah, 100%.
Kicking a car out of this event is not encroaching on anybody's right.
No.
You know, so if the people in charge have an issue with that flag or whatever it had or may represent, that's their right, man.
Absolutely.
You know?
Hey,
and
I would feel some sort of way if there was some generally tribute cars that maybe got turned around at the gate. You know what I mean? I'd be like, well, you know, just let them in. But if people are wearing General Lee shirts and they're like, no, you can't come in, I would have a problem with that.
That would be different.
That would be different. This is it's just a spectacle, and it's a Crown Vic. Come on, guys. You know what I mean? If anything, people should be pissed that they're wasting good AMD panels on these.
I posted that on Facebook. I was like, hey guys, it's, you know, they kicked it out because it's not Mopar power, and that's, you know, MoParty rules says, and, you know, people are losing their minds. But, you know, just trying to lighten the feeling a little bit, but
it'd be funny if they're like, all right, you want to play that game? We're gonna jump a real Charger and just destroy it.
Bro.
My God.
I'll tell you who I'm excited to see at MoParty is Kale. You guys follow Kale? Cam Racing?
The guy with the LS swapped?
Yeah, the LS swap duster.
Yeah.
Bro, he is like, he's had some companies sponsoring that build right now.
Really?
And QA1 sent him a bunch of stuff. Wow. Bear Brakes sent him a bunch of stuff, and he's trying to slam it all in there before MoParty.
Nice.
So I'm really looking forward to.
It's LS swapped though.
Yeah. It's LS swapped. And it's a duster. Yeah, they let him rock. They let him rock and roll and hang out.
Against the rules.
I know it's against the rules, but man, it's a cool car built by a cool kid.
That's all right. I have plans with the GMC once it's Hemi swapped to try and sneak into LS Fest.
Hell yes.
Yeah, we know a few people with that plan. I'm in.
Yeah. No, I support that 100%. I don't know. I'm excited for MoParty. I didn't let that news really bother me too much. Now, if it starts getting crazy, you know what I mean, and it affects more of the event or anything else that shouldn't be affected is affected, then I would have some sort of problem with that. But it's not affecting me at all. When I found out it was canceled, I was like, all right, it's one less thing I have to waste my time on. Not that it was a waste of time, but there's so much stuff to see that I miss every year. That's one less thing I have to worry about, you know, because it's like, okay, you know, for somebody like me that's out there for content, yes, watching them jump at General Lee is good content. Seeing the destruction, good content. There's so much content there that it's amazing. And I don't know. I think, like Tommy was saying, I think people are just looking, they're just waiting for something to go wrong so they can bitch about something anywhere. Doesn't matter if it's at the car show or somewhere else. And, you know, I keep hearing people or seeing people write about, oh yeah, I know somebody at Holly and they said this. And I'm like, quit feeding into the bullshit. Just go and have a good time.
You mentioned the car show, and that seemed to be the big gripe before this whole General Lee thing was, oh, well, it's not really a car show because I got this, my car's this and it's special and it's, and they didn't even barely look at my car because it's celebrity judges or whatever, and they just kind of pick out what they like. Okay, well, that's what the rules say, that's how they put it on. Deal with it.
Yeah.
You can't please everybody.
No, and being a judge last year, that was the toughest part for me was,
Oh, they were bitching about you?
Oh, well.
Damn celebrity judges. Just picking what they like a judge should.
I'll say this. I had 2 trucks that were in my running for first or second. I was trying to figure out who I wanted to win the truck class. And somebody from Holly came up and said, what are your top picks? And I told them, and we went and looked at both trucks. And I knew which one in my heart I wanted to win. But then talking to the truck that actually won, which is an amazing little Red Express. Guy's owned it since he was 16, touched every nut, bolt, screw, every piece of this little Red Express had been restored. And the story is what won it over for me. However, the truck that was runner up, it's Justin's truck. The little Utiline first gen. That truck, absolutely amazing. I can't wait to see it in person this year. I was supposed to be the judge for the truck and SUV event again, or class again, but they never sent me a confirmation or anything. So it's a week away, and I don't even know what's going to happen. So I'm waiting to hear back from them. I don't think the last time I checked their website, it doesn't say anything about any judges that they've handpicked or anything like that. So I guess we'll see. It was fun to judge, but at the same time, it kind of took away from my experience of the show because I had to sit there and, because, for somebody that puts their vehicle in the show, it's a big deal if they win. So I don't like that aspect of it because I don't like making the decision. I'd rather just enjoy the show and go, yeah, it's a badass truck. Moving on. I don't have to worry about giving this guy a trophy. And I don't like to hurt feelings. You know what I mean? Especially when I think there should be first, second, and third place so that somebody like the top 3 deserves something. But it's not my show, not my event. If they need me, I'll happily do it for them. But and it was an honor to do it the first time. However, if they didn't want me to judge this year, I wouldn't have a problem with it. However, I would. If the offer still stands, Holly, I will absolutely be a judge. I really wanted them to put in a ratty Mopar class, and I wanted to be the judge of that. But I don't know if that's going to happen. So. I'm just going for a good time. That's it. To see my friends. Tommy, you're going to be there. Matt, obviously we're going up together. Blake's going to be there, and everybody else. I'm just going to see a bunch of badass Mopars, talk Mopars, and have a good time. That's the bottom line for me. So regardless of if they're jumping an orange car with a flag on it, it doesn't bother me at all.
I'm just bummed out we didn't get a confirmed flyer. Like, I really wanted one of those about
that
me.
Would have been cool, right?
I would have felt special.
Yeah, I would have felt a little something. Tommy did. Yeah,
Tommy got one.
Tommy got his confirmed. He's a celebrity. Look at that.
You want? I might be able to make that happen.
I talked to my buddy Blaine that works at Holly. I was like, hey man, what's up?
So this thing's. You see this?
Shit, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Hell yeah. Nice. I got to see that car in person in Vegas.
Oh yeah, it was real nice.
I took some pictures of it last year that they ended up using in the magazine.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Paul was like, I need these shots from like up here, and they were talking about putting a ladder in the back of a truck, and I'm like, hold on, man, let me get the drone.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But I'll be bringing that, and we're gonna raffle it off.
Oh, really?
So yeah, we'll just do some raffle tickets on site.
Oh yeah, nice.
And then got a couple little grudge matches lined up.
Nice.
One of our buddies who used to have a 1320's got a super stock.
Oh, okay.
He wants to beat up him a little scat pack, so
all right.
Give him some sauce. And then the same fella Jason that I raced last year, he's got I believe it's a Pro Charge 1320.
Okay.
And he's turned it up a little bit. So
hell yeah.
I'm still on the stock bottom end, and we're just gonna hose her down.
Man, I remember you telling me that, and I had always been told that the 6.4s, when you start juicing them up a little bit, that's when they start having problems. But you're saying it's holding up fine.
It is. It is.
Wow.
You just, like, and I've been working at the shop now for a little over a year and a half, since I left firefighting. So we do a ton of 6.4s, whether it's in the cars, the SUVs, with Pro Chargers, Whipples. And the big thing is just sticking within that low boost.
Yeah.
And quality fuel and a quality tuner. I run a high quality fuel when I race, when I spray it, and my tuner's on point.
Nice.
So we don't push the limits too far. I run a progressive setup, so very careful about it. But I want to push it as far as we can.
Yeah.
While we're working on a stroker for it.
Yeah. No, that's badass. I'm looking forward to seeing it race. And this time I will absolutely I'm gonna find you, and I'm gonna give you my number so you can text me when you're lined up, because the show it really is hard managing your time at the show because there's so much shit to see. And every year I fail at getting the drag racing footage that I want. So this year I promised myself I'm going to hit that track and watch some fun racing and stuff, because there's a lot of badass drag cars that were there. They had the wing car. I really like the rear wheel drive Daytonas. I think they're badass.
Yeah.
Those are fun to watch. But I'm excited for the swap meet again. Last year there was some good stuff at the swap meet, and I did not have cash. This year I will have some cash on me, and we will have a trailer just in case. Thank you, Blake. Just in case something cool is there for cheap. I may have to hit the ATM, but I'm expecting to see some cool stuff. Car show again, awesome drag racing. They got the 4x4 experience, which was pretty cool. Matt and I got to see the tail end of a TRX just getting after it.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Beating the shit out of that TRX. I was like, God, I mean, if you got the money to do it, I guess, but he was beating the hell out of that thing.
He set off the airbags.
Oh man. But the autocross, as time goes on, I've become a pretty big fan of those guys building those cars. And just, again, beating the shit out of them. It's just fun to watch other people beat the shit out of their cars. It really is. And then, of course, they got the burnout contest, another event where people beat the piss out of their cars. Fun to watch. But we just wanted to jump on here, obviously promote Slicks of Hope, and get everybody excited, because I know that the controversy really, it pissed me off, because I was like, oh, now they're going to, everybody, grandstanding and getting into this tribal mentality of, boycott them. It's like, just go to the event and have a good time. Fuck. You already spent the money, just go.
Yeah.
If you're going to let that ruin it for you, man, I'm glad I don't have those problems. You know what I mean? It's just, it's a little petty if you ask me. But again, everybody's got their own opinion, I suppose. Josh Whitebird's asking how much boost. Like, what do you mean on the Pro Charge Scat Pack or what, Josh?
Yeah, that's when he asked the question, how much boost do you guys run on 392s?
Basic 7 pounds.
7 pounds?
Yeah.
Nice. That's all you really need. I mean, I imagine the biggest problem you guys have is probably traction, right?
I mean, I have traction with stock power. I mean, unless it was on a prep track.
Yeah.
But as far as boost on the 392s, that's, you see a lot of guys talk about them popping under boost, and it's, you got to get the whole story, fuel and who's your tuner, and and a lot of them you see, oh well, I made X amount on 7 pounds, so we just pulled it down one step, and you could run 10 pounds, and you got to be careful, you got to be conservative.
Sure.
And the big thing we do that we see a lot of guys do is, we set them up in the kit and, get the bigger head unit to start and pull it up. And then when they're ready for rods and pistons, then they can do that, or they can pulley it down. And then when they're ready for a transmission rebuild, then they can turn it up even more. We can't all just jump into these things. You got to do it in phases sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's the same thing I'm doing with my car.
Yeah.
You know, I got it to a certain point, and then we're doing a big stroker short block for it for next season. And, you know, where I'm running now on spray, I should run NA by next season.
Nice.
And then we'll add a little spray on top of it.
Big Red's asking if pistons are the issue with the 6.4s.
Correct. It's the upper ring land is really close up, and you know, with the heat, the ring expands, and you see the tops of the pistons crack off.
Interesting. Now, I've got this 5.7, and I'm not trying to get crazy with it, but sometimes I'm looking at some of the prices on 6.4 blocks, and I'm like, is it even really worth building a 5.7 anymore? Because I know they got the stroker kits, and I'm just like, God damn, might as well just get a 6.4.
I don't know if you're going to stroke it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a cheap ass. So, like, I've been looking at different options, you know, forged drop-in kits, stuff like that. I'm like, I don't even know if it's worth it at that point.
Get out of here, Mike Coffee.
Coffee.
What kind of power are you trying to make out of it?
Honestly, if I could get, well, it's a 2012 5.7 out of a Ram. So factory power is what, high 300. I would be comfortable if I could get, you know, 400, 420 horsepower. I don't want anything crazy. It's just a little dart. You know, I'm not trying to fucking take over the world with it. I'm just trying to have a lot of fun. It should have a lot of fun stock, but, you know, I want it to be a little bit funner than that.
You got good E85 out there?
No. Well, I could get good fuel, but not
like for us down here, we have it constantly.
Yeah, see, we don't.
You know,
not that I know of.
The levels don't change. I don't get that shitty winter E85 down here. So it's easy for us. But that's a game changer.
Yeah.
You know, you could run some higher compression on that, and with that piston change, then run a bigger cam, you know, and run that thing on some corn, and
yeah,
you know, it'd be a beast.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that.
Like with my 5.7 that I put together for the Duster, and it's going into D100 now. I did the HRT stage 2 cam and lifter set, and then did a CNC machined throttle body. So I went up like an 87 millimeter, like nothing crazy, and then whatever Blake wants to tune it to. After that,
yeah,
it'll be a fun.
Go ahead, dude.
I was saying it'll be a fun little thump around in the D100.
And that's all I'm looking for. Like I said, I'm not looking to take over the world. I just want to have some fun. If a stock scat pack lined up against me, I wouldn't want to go, fuck, I'm gonna get smoked. You know what I mean?
You got a lot less weight in that dart.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's very true. Man, I didn't realize, like, I realized it, but I didn't realize it until in Vegas, when I parked in that line of the modern Mopars, I was like, fuck, these things are huge. They are so much bigger compared to the little dart. And then you park the dart next to the Black Ghost Challenger, and I was like, fuck, the Challengers are small cars. Like the original ones, I'm like, fuck, they are tiny.
Yeah.
I for some reason, I didn't realize that the dart was bigger than a 70 Challenger, but it's you know.
Speaking of the Black Ghost, man, you see what they're doing to it?
No. Oh, you mean it's not in some collection somewhere? What are they doing to it?
Well, I mean, it's in somebody's collection, but they just posted the other day. They pulled all the dents out of it and everything, and
oh, really?
Yeah, like semi restoring it.
Huh.
And then the guy said there was evidence that at some point there were headers and some other speed goodies on it, supposedly.
That's what made it the legend of the streets. That's another controversy I love to watch just fucking unfold in the chats and in the man, it's crazy.
Well, everybody arguing about the actual legitimacy of the legends.
Yeah, and some guys go hard for the Black Ghost.
Yeah.
So dig this. I grew up in that area.
Okay.
Old guy that lived across the street from us had a '66 Hemi Belvedere.
Okay.
I'd heard him talk of the car as a kid. How legitimate it had never been beat or anything like that, I don't know, but
yeah,
it did exist, at least in the area that he was out there racing it,
Okay.
Because then you'll see guys argue about like the silver bullet.
Yeah.
I don't think they hovered in the same areas.
Okay.
Guys stuck to their neighborhoods back then.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this old cat Earl, I'd heard of the car, just thought it was some old dude talking shit. And then, years later, I'm like, holy shit, the car's real.
Yeah.
But other than that, I have, no other knowledge on it whatsoever.
I mean, I'm not saying that the car didn't go street racing and stuff, but I mean, it's talking a big never been beat. Who are you racing? You're talking about, Michigan in the 70s. It's like there's some,
if he was just running slicks and everything else was stock, I mean there were some wild cars out there back then.
Yeah, for sure. I get maybe he's just picking and choosing his battles. You know what I mean? So
I do that,
right? But yeah, it's I like the controversy. It's the internet. What do you expect? You know what I mean? So it's like I don't try to. I already got suckered into one with the Chief Donut Maker shit. I'm not getting suckered into more beef.
Oh man!
After that, Joe Vita did an interview with the guy, and I was like, the guy seems pretty cool, And then he started. I don't know if you listened to that one, Matt, but he was kind of talking a little shit, like just a
about
little.
Us.
No, not about us. Not at all. About the whole thing.
Oh.
About what it actually was. I shouldn't say he was talking shit, but he alluded to some things where I was like, yeah, see, I knew it was bogus bullshit.
It never really happened, did it?
No, I think Dodge was like, oh shit, what do we do? No offense to the kid, but it's like, I think they were like, we didn't realize we were going to get hate for this, so I think they pulled back just a little bit than they had originally intended to do with whoever won that contest. But after my feelings came back, I was like, what do I care? You know what I mean? Do I really want to be Chief Donut Maker? Fuck no. Like, I don't want to be no corporate shill.
They should just made it Goldberg.
Yeah.
And just went on about their day.
Did he get his money?
Oh, I'm sure he got his money. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure he got paid.
I'm sure they got him a deal on a car, so that was part of the like. Why don't you just buy one of these cars? We'll give you a good discount. So there goes half of it right there, and they're like, all right. Who knows though? But
speaking of getting paid, I'm looking for grudge races while we're there. So
yeah, if you're going to MoParty and you want a piece of the 1320, go see Tommy.
You got some money to lose. Let me know.
Yeah, put some cash up. Oh man, I'll have to be there for that. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good time. I'm just looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the road trip up.
I'm not.
See, I don't get to road trip enough. You've done it a few times, Tommy, so I'm sure it's nothing new for you.
Every time. Yeah. Well, we're doing it a little different this year. We're actually renting an RV.
Okay.
And hauling all the way up instead of using the pickup truck. So.
Oh, there you
go. Yeah. Well, with the brand new baby and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, she'd be 4 months old tomorrow. So hauling in the pickup truck would be a pain.
I do love me some road trips. Like, if I can get it done, P100 is going to Matt's.
Yeah, that'd be that's a long trip. I was actually wondering what it would take to get Tommy out to Muscle Cars at the Strip. It's a long drive.
That's in Vegas?
Yeah, it's a long drive.
Yeah, that's my problem is like I work full time. I go to school full time.
Yeah.
I do the charity stuff. It's like, man, I barely have time to think.
Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. That's why I get excited when there's something closer to the West Coast for me. And I don't even have all that stuff, you know?
Because usually I go back home to Michigan in August for Modern Street Hemi Shootout because then I can visit family and everything.
Yeah.
We haven't done that in 2 years.
Oh.
So it's actually since I started at the shop, things have been easier because I'm home nights and weekends and I don't have that rotating firefighter schedule
Yeah.
And I was driving 200 miles one way to work.
Oh, okay.
You know, so this has been easier on it, but still, man, it's a lot to do.
Yeah. Absolutely. Big Red says I should bring the dart to MoParty. Maybe that's how I get the little media spotlight for a second, where they're like, confirmed for MoParty, Chris and his shitbox dart. If I could afford it, I would. I absolutely would. Now that I have a job where I can get some time off at will, it might be possible. I could probably squeeze 2 weeks off and make the trip. That's what stopped me from taking it to other events that were a little bit further away, is just trying to figure out the logistics of it and how much time I would need to take off work and all that stuff. But now I have a little better idea of what I can get away with as far as taking time off. So, I mean, it might be possible. Yeah, I'd do it. I've talked about shipping. When I had the Mr. Norm truck, I actually talked to Holly about shipping the truck out there, and they were going to let me park it at their place, or even at my buddy at Holly. He was going to let me park it in his driveway and just have it delivered. That way I could go out, have my fun, and then ship it back. But the cost of that was like, $4,000 to $5,000. And I was like, shit, is that going to be worth it? Is there a return on my investment there? Unfortunately, I didn't think so at the time. Maybe next year, maybe the year after that. I'm not quite sure. It's also got to be worth it for me. You know what I mean? I just don't want to bring the fucking 273 dart out. Like, that's one thing with muscle cars at the strip. I didn't have time to do shit to the car, and I was out of money. So I was like, all right, I got enough money to get there, have some fun, take it back. Now that I'm getting settled again, I can go, okay, let's get the Hemi in it. I know a lot of people, Mike Coffee, are talking shit about the Hemi swap, but it's going to happen. Now that I have some things in place that are going to help me along, it'll be a lot easier to pull off. So that's what's going to happen there, especially since I have another running project car that everybody loves to hate. But yeah, we'll see. I too have plans of sneaking into LS Fist. I know. Honestly, I wouldn't give a shit about them if it wasn't for, it's a childhood thing, dude. Call it childhood trauma, if you will, but I've wanted one for a long fucking time. And I know it's not a Mopar, but I would love to just And it's funny because the Corvette guys are just like Mopar people. So if you tell Corvette people you're going to try to swap a Hemi in one and see what they say. It is fucking great.
So it work ideal with both, because we service both Mopar and GM.
Yeah.
And the Corvette crowd is strange.
$6,000, Mike. Yeah.
Speaking of project cars, is that wagon still for sale out there?
No, somebody snatched it for like $1,200 bucks. Yeah.
Oh.
If I had known he was willing to go that low, because I called him, or I contacted him. Was it last year? Since COVID, I've lost track of the years. It was either a year ago or the beginning of this year. I think it was a year ago. But I reached out to him, and he's like, oh, man, I'd go $1,500. So I was like, all right. But I had so much other shit going on. It had to have been this year, because I thought it was this year, because when I realized that the Roadrunner wasn't getting done, I was looking for a plan B. And I've always had that car on my favorites on OfferUp. So I started talking to him, and I went on YouTube, and I found a shitload of history on that specific car. And I was like, oh, cool. So I found the guy who owned it. I found a bunch of pictures that he had taken about the project and shit. So I got to see, its progression. And I was like, all right, it's a pretty solid project. It's pretty cool. He wouldn't take less than $1,500. And then I promoted it a little bit, and I know he got blown the fuck up, dude. I had people hitting me up left and right. Oh, give me the contact information. So I almost felt bad. I'm like, this guy's probably all of a sudden like, what the fuck? Where are all these people coming from? Because I mean, it was pretty cheap. It was a good deal. It would have been an awesome car just to play with. But when I heard he sold it for $1,200, I was like, oh, that's nothing. But even $1,500 was really nothing.
Even at that, though, like, I was ready to snatch it.
Yeah.
But it's getting it here.
Mm-hmm.
And find somewhere to store it.
Yeah.
It's like I got enough problems of my own.
No, 100%.
But
I don't know how some of these people are affording shipping, and the ones that go cheap, like the guy who came to pick up my my Roadrunner when I sold it. Fuck, that shipper sucked. I don't even remember who it was, but they absolutely sucked. They screwed me over big time. Just making my life hard because I had this car packed up, it had no windows in it. I had every part of that car in it, stuffed in that car. Rolled it out into my driveway, expecting the guy to pick it up. Can't get it because he doesn't have a winch. And I'm like, what kind of fucking, like, I told them, I said, this car does not run or drive, doesn't have brakes. You're going to have to winch it up on the trailer. And because of the fucking hokey suspension that was done on the front, just to get it to roll, it starts to fucking catwalk a little bit. So you got to make sure that the tires are lined up straight and you can pull it on straight, but you need a winch. And once I pushed it out of my driveway, there was no pulling it back in. And they tell me they're not going to get it until the next day. So I had to push this car out on the street because I was like, I'm not leaving this car in my driveway with all these parts. I've already been paid. I was like, you're the shipper. You should get your shit together. So I secured the car as best as I could, but it sat outside on the street. Somebody could have just went and robbed that thing. I was really paranoid, but it wasn't my car at the time. All the paperwork had already been done. So I was like, I told the guy, I said, look, dude, your shipper sucks. So thankfully the car made it. And as far as I know, he's already getting it put together. So good for him. What did it run? What did it run in the quarter mile? Probably 19 and a half seconds, if that. What did it run for money? I paid $4,200 for that car. But yeah, my coffee, I'm not kidding. 6,000 for you if you want it with no 273 in it.
Bro, you're going about this the wrong way. You need to be like, no, it's going to cost you a body slammed A100.
Fuck, you're right. No, yeah, I'd do that trade. I'd do that trade with the 273, and you can take the Hemi and hawk that shit. I'll take that A100. I want that van bad. I thought about it when I sold the Roadrunner. I was like, I know Coffee and I had talked about numbers a couple times, but I didn't think he was really serious about selling it. But now I wonder if I would have flown down there with a nice chunk of cash if he would have sold it to me. Wait, would you have sold me the van, Coffee, for 15 grand cash? If I would have went down there, 15 grand. I hope it's running soon. Fuck, you get so many other cars and shit going. I want to see that van on the road. Fuck, the thing is famous. Look up Dodge van. And you're pretty much going to run across that slammed A100. How often do you see a body dropped A100? You know,
could have been bought before. You missed your chance.
He gave me a number once, and I didn't have the money at the time, so I didn't entertain it. But who knows? Maybe I'll get I'll strike it gold. I'll strike gold somewhere, and I strike oil, and make another offer. There's been a lot of vans popping up locally, and I'm like, shit, and I have the money, and I'm like, oh, you got other shit. Like, I really want to get the Dart where, you know, everybody gives me shit about not finishing anything. So I'm like, all right, the Dart's got to get where I say it's going to get, and then I can play a little bit.
Bro, you have no credibility left. Like,
my credibility's gone. Nobody believes shit I say.
You have none. After that Roadrunner fiasco, you got nothing.
Yeah, I should have just bought that van at 15. I was willing to pay 15 grand for the body dropped A100. I should have just, when I had the cash, I should have just bought it. Fuck. Yeah, that's one that I'm gonna live with the pain for a while. But yeah, my credibility's shot, dude. Yeah, anything I say, people are like, this guy's full of shit.
Like, I've never
that's
seen
okay.
This guy finish shit.
Oh man, what? Did you guys see what Vice Grip Garage did today? To 318 with the LS valve train and bits, 351 stroker, huh?
I have a hard time watching Vice Grip Garage.
I have no idea what Anthony's talking about. That's crazy if he did that. I don't even know if that would work. But all right, man, it's getting late, Tommy. I know you got the kiddo and stuff. You got to get early, dude. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I will see you in Kentucky. Matt and I will be there. Blake's going to be there. We'll come pay you a visit. We'll check out the 1320. And of course, Talking Mopars will be donating to Slicks of Hope because it's something that I believe in. And I encourage everybody, even if it's $1, 75% or 75% of that dollar goes right to the research for pediatric cancer.
At a minimum.
At a minimum.
At a minimum.
So you know, no child, like I said earlier, no child should have to worry about that kind of stuff. And you know, let's do what we can to try not to lose any more kids to cancer. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So a buck,
Yeah.
minimum of a buck. If
So
you're watching this show
it-
right now, $1.
You know, and the big thing too, you know, as far as budgets for cancer research, when you get to childhood cancer, less than 4% of the federal budget
Wow.
goes towards childhood cancer. So
Wow.
St. Baldrick's is one of the largest fundraisers outside of, or funders of research outside of the federal government for childhood cancer.
Wow.
So it's, you know, it's not great numbers.
No, absolutely not. So
So
if we can have an impact on that, even if it's a minimum impact, $1, $1, you know, anything helps. But I will absolutely be donating.
and if you want a grudge race, any of the grudge races I win, go straight into the bucket.
See, I love
and if
that.
you win, it goes straight into the bucket.
I love it.
But
Absolutely love it.
yeah, so we'll be there. I don't know where the booth will be yet.
Okay.
They haven't given us any of that information, but I mean, my banner's up. The car's hard to miss. I'm
Yeah.
hard to miss.
Absolutely.
We'll be out there hustling for money. So
Oh yeah. All right.
come find us and let's get it done.
Absolutely, Tommy. When we hit ground in Kentucky, I will come find you and we'll hang out for a bit, dude. And we'll talk Mopars and catch up. All right, buddy.
We'll be there. We'll be there by load-in time mid Thursday.
Right on.
We'll be hanging out Thursday night. Might cruise out in Bowling Green, see if we can find some street races.
Oh shit! I'll hit you up, buddy.
We won't be that hard to find either. So
Oh yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. But all right, folks, if you are going to MoParty, you know where to find us. We will be there. Look for Slicks of Hope. Look for Talking Mopars. Look for BigBlocksGarage. Look for Sublime Technologies, and all of our friends. And if you see us, say hi. And absolutely, like I said, donate to Slicks of Hope. Even if you got $1, did you go buy a hot dog and you got some change left over? Throw a hot dog over at Slicks of Hope. All right. Thank you for watching. Remember, no Mopar left behind. We will see you in Bowling Green, Kentucky for Holly's 3rd annual MoParty.